are you? Shall I debate? What's your proposition gonna be? Can you go ahead and tell me?
Okay.
Val, are you there?
Yeah, what topics are you doing?
It should be pretty obvious, but anything to do with metaphysics, epistemology, metallurgical, a lot of that. So just go ahead and pick your poison or whatever. So I'm about. It's called server mute. I don't know if you know that concept or you're not familiar with the Discord system. But you go ahead and pick a topic and do. I'll give you my list of topics you can pick. Unless you also want to do ethics or meta ethics, because we did meta ethics last time I uploaded it. So would you like to do ethics? Because I know you're an ethical egoist.
Well, one, I'm not an ethical egoist. And two, we could just do. Well, let me think.
God?
I'm thinking of a topic.
Would you just like me to pick up a topic for you? Would that be perfect for you?
I mean, you can pick one. If it's a topic
So,
that I do, then I'll just agree here.
Alright, yeah. Lampike, you go on mute real quick if you're. I can't tell because I have you muted or something like that. Yeah. We could do abortion. You do abortion, Val?
Yeah,
Or do you
sure.
want to do God's existence? Which one's easier for you, abortion or God's
No,
existence?
I'm fine with either, but since abortion is the first thing you
We could
recommended,
do
this
God's
we could do
existence.
abortion.
We could do God's
I
existence.
mean, seemingly we have the same position. Or you're a Muslim.
What if I just devil's advocate? I could devil's advocate.
Sure, you could devil's advocate, but that would just be. Well, I don't want to any excuses when you lose because you're gonna lose either way. But I'll probably
You're gonna
want
lose
to
another way.
talk. I'll
Real
probably
quick.
want to discuss with you on
No.
an
Hold on.
actual topic, on your
I
actual
just want to
views.
real quick. Can you pipe down your ego real quick?
It's not ego. I just said I'll probably want to talk to you about your
Oh,
actual views.
no.
This
You're
is
gonna
already
have
bad.
I'm crying. You're gonna have a normal conversation, right? Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we could do God's existence real quick.
Jesus
Anyways,
Christ.
I'll just devil advocate as like an atheist, or I could just choose the stance of a where I just am like agnostic, atheist. Yes. Do you know the analytical definition or the definitionary approach to agnostic atheist is? Would you like the analytics for it? Yes or no?
Obviously, if that's the position you're going to be taking, you're going to need to define it for clarity.
Yeah, sure. I'm just asking just in case you already knew ahead of time. It's for the proper dialogue of the debate, because if you already knew, it'd be pretty redundant. But anyways, so I'll just go ahead and define it. An agnostic atheist like leans towards more so the fact of God probably doesn't exist, and what we consider God to be as a rational agent being who has omni properties in existence, a being who's necessary, who's not dependent and is self-sufficient. That's basically the basic definition of what a necessary being is, but who's conscious and rational. Okay. More so when I say I'm agnostic, as I already explained, I lean more towards it, but I don't deny the factor of he could exist. So there's room in between, but I'm taking some type of probabilistic account. But like say for an example, maybe I can like clarify it by this. It's not an active assertion. When active assertion would be actively proclaiming something. I can make a claim, but I'm not actively too dependent on it. So I can like heavily dismiss it and later move to a shift. It's just like interchangeable in that sense. So that's the definitionary approach for what an agnostic atheist is. So per that you're on the positive burden of God existing, you go ahead and give your argument for God existing. God.
Oh my God. Bunch of blunders real quick. Okay. One, if you're going to be defining God as a necessary being, one, that's not how I define God, but if you're going to be defining God as a necessary being, then you just be committing a category error by trying to say that, or your position is that God probably does not exist, right? Because necessity and probabilities are just going to be two distinct categories that you cannot really like match up together, right? When you say X exists necessarily, you're saying that there's a 100% chance of X existing, and non-existence rather is going to be completely impossible, right? So obviously you're not going to have this probabilistic view on it. You're not going to have certain degrees of certainty. It'll just be either a 0% chance that God exists, or a 100% chance that God exists. Um, Secondly, me saying being on the affirmative, or saying that God exists, is not going to place the burden on myself. Like, you didn't even justify that. Saying X exists does not put the burden
For
on
sure, I can
one
actually
person
go ahead
saying
and
saying X
justify
does
that for
not
you.
exist.
I'm going to cut you off because you already answered your basic stuff. Okay, now you can shut the fuck up and let me respond. As I was saying, right? One, that's not a category error. I gave you a definition of what God I would be attacking, and sitting on the other side. And yes, I could be agnostic on that, despite leaning towards a probabilistic. A probabilistic account is not necessarily saying it's for sure, right? I gave a definition. I'm attacking, right? You fucking complete retard, dumbass. My stance is against God existing, but I'm not necessarily denying the fact of it, right? When you say something is probable, you're saying it could be this way, and there's higher like statistical accounts for it, okay? You fucking actual gibbering retard, right? And then when you go on to the other point and sit there and say, well, it's a category error. One, that's not a category error because one, the thing about the probability thing was more so me defining my stance. And when I defined God as something necessary, that's the definition I'm taking, right? So you're saying I can't have God this way. Well, one, that's the other definition which I would consider, or the stance considers to attack you fucking retard in the theistic account, right? And one, again, I wasn't talking about your stance as a God exists. I'm saying this is normally considered for an agnostic atheist position because you're fucking retarded. You can't track it all. You fucking don't open up your ears. Your ears have earwax in them, and then you take it out your ear, and then
During
you fucking
Ramadan, by the way.
swallow your wax because you're retarded as fuck. So don't
Muslim
cut
during
me off
Ramadan.
and shut the fuck up. Hey, retard, shut the fuck up, and you can talk. Good boy, bitch. Anyways, so as I was saying, right? No laughing, please. Just stop talking. You're embarrassing.
Oh my God,
Anyways,
this
to
guy's
go
a
on to your
retard.
final point, okay? Can you shut the fuck up before I ceramate you like a good bitch you are, right? Yeah, thanks. Anyways, as I was saying, right, to the final point, which you so fucking retarded, bro. Um, yeah. You want me to justify it? Well, one, this is the proposition we're discussing. We're going into the substantials of the proposition. I've been speaking, right? Talking about the metaphysical proposition of God's existence, right? You actual complete blundering retard. You are taking the affirmative. I'm on the negation. If you're the one affirming God's existence, I have the negative burden of proof, right? You have the positive burden of proof for proving God exists. If I ask you to give an argument for God, I'm the one sitting there and putting the burden on you for your positive burden. You absolute complete fucking retard, okay? Now, I want you to go ahead and give that, unless you have a refutation towards what I said about burdens, because if you do, then I view you as more of a fucking retard than you already are, okay? I mean, it's pretty simple, okay? Anyways, yeah, you go ahead, you can talk.
Okay, so firstly, I would like you to give the probabilistic account that you're going to try to invoke in this conversation, and for you to motivate it. Secondly, right, what you said still does not address or interact with what I said at all, because obviously, right, you could say, oh, well, you're saying something could be the case or something could not be the case, right? But if you're saying that necessary being could exist, or saying a necessary being is possible, then by virtue of the analytics and saying that this being is necessary, then you're saying that this being does exist. So like, Jesus Christ, the modal analytics, right? So that's just a concession on your part, because they're very horrible, right? So when you talk about
Okay,
probabilistic
so
cases,
what's
right?
a
That's why.
calculator?
Wait,
Hold on.
I'm
You already
not.
gave your
I'm not
reputation. I don't
done.
fucking give
I'm
a
not
shit.
done.
So anyways, as I was
He
saying,
doesn't give
right,
a shit.
when you make a
Okay, the
point
low
about
tier doesn't
modal
give a shit.
analytics, right,
Okay,
you're
the low
making
tier
a
doesn't give a
conversation.
shit.
And when I already told you about the definition for
Yeah,
God,
yeah, the low tier doesn't give a shit.
that
Anyways,
is the
I'll just
definition in
keep
which
speaking.
I'm attacking in your choice.
Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter. When you talk about
Yeah,
probability, it's
as
just
I
going
was
to be the
saying,
degrees of
right,
certainty, and talk about degrees
I'm
of
gonna go
certainty.
ahead.
It's just going to be that you're going to either have this value of 0, value of 1. You talk about numerical values within Bayesian probability theorem, right? So when you're saying that there is this chance that this necessary being exists.
Yeah, so as I was trying to say, I'm gonna cut you off. I'm not permanently using because again, you wanted me to go ahead and give a statistical account or whatever. One, as I first said, when you consider the analytics of God, I already told you that's the definition of God I'm attacking. per being an agnostic atheist. You can't track that, right? You're trying to sit there and say that's a concession on my part. That is not a concession. I told you this is usually the account people have for a theistic account, okay? You fucking retard. If I'm an agnostic atheist, I'm not a theist. You're fucking retarded. I don't consider God to be this way because I'm not necessarily affirming it, you fucking retard. You can't grasp that because you're a tier 8 moron with fucking retarded mental cognitive disorders. You have neurodivergent disorders. You're fucking retarded. That's what you are, okay? And then you want me to give a probable account. Okay. So sure, I can give an argument, even though that's just like burden shifting, because the parts on you about God exist, and you're saying, hey, we can talk about mathematical, theorems, this and that, blah 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 blah. Well, necessarily, I'm saying this is the reason why. I mean, exists probability wise, but I already asked you to give an argument for God's existence. It's your burden, okay? You didn't really refute anything I said about the burdens. You just kept going on about my fucking claim about God and my stance and confusing horribly because you're a fucking moron. You're fucking tier 8, retard. You're getting bullied because I'm punching you in your fucking foot. And see how you're laughing with yourself? Nobody in VC is piping up to laugh with you right now. Nobody is piping up to laugh with you right now. I just want to make that, aware to you that you're completely alone in this situation. You're retarded and you have absolutely no fucking value to this conversation besides you talking just to talk. You fucking moron. Okay? Now I want you to get the fuck up and start actually participating in this conversation instead of going off into la la land like a fucking retarded fuck. Okay? I want you to get up, give an argument for God, and actually stop being a retard, okay? Or maybe I have to fucking punch you so fucking hard in your head that it resets your Indian genetic code. Fucking retard. Okay? I'm gonna get you off on server mute and we can go about the burden thing, okay? Retard? You're actually fucking retarded, dumbass.
Bro, I'm here. What are you doing? All right, there you go.
And this nigga's having internet issues. I literally see it on the
Hello?
screen. This nigga
What the fuck?
speak because he has fucking Nigerian
Where'd he
Wi-Fi.
go?
This nigga got some Nigerian
Hey, guys,
Wi-Fi. I'm crying.
Oh, he's back. He's back. But yeah, I saw. Don't worry, he's back.
Fucking speak, retard. Now, bitch. Why are you silent? Get the fuck back up on mute, bitch. Why are you silent? Unmute yourself, bitch. I don't see you talking. I don't see you piping up. You're unmuted, by the way. You're unserver muted right now. You're not server muted, by the way. You can talk. Go ahead. Why are you stun locked, retard? Speak.
Nigga, hello? You can just go to.
Okay, so I got a call while he was like skitch rambling, so my shit disconnected. But firstly, he says I never addressed the thing he said about the burdens, right? But maybe that's because he cut me off and sperm abused me while I was still making my point, right? I just got past the first things he said. But maybe he's too like retarded to get that. But anyways, against the burdens things he said, right? We're talking about God's existence. I'm affirming the proposition that God exists, right? When you're talking about him negating the proposition that God exists, that would just be him affirming the proposition that God does not exist. So he would be affirming the negation of the proposition that I would be affirming, right? So really, that doesn't get past anything that I said. Right. Secondly, he thought I was asking him to give an argument when I asked for his probabilistic account and for the motivation for his probabilistic account. And he just doesn't track that, right? Because I'm asking for the theory of probability that he's going to be undertaking within this conversation, but he doesn't know what that is because he's a low tier. He thought I was on. Oh my god. Thirdly, I don't really think the rest of the shit he's talked about really attacks anything because if on rec, if anyone was listening, anyways, you could or you would be able to tell that this guy told me he was going to be an agnostic atheist. It was going to be that was advocating within the conversation. That is what he said verbatim. And then he gave the definition for agnostic atheism, which is just the definition for the position that he's going to be undertaking. So he tries to say, well, oh, well, it doesn't matter whether or not it's a concession because, well, I'm not actually holding to anything. I'm just being an agnostic atheist.
Okay, so I'm gonna cut you off right there because you're such a retard. You can't fucking track like a dumbass. Okay. One, no, I did not say that's the reason why the concession doesn't matter. You fucking retard. You said I consider God to be necessary in that sense, even though I already told you that's the opposition in which I'm usually opposing. You fucking retard. And then you conflated that with the same definition I'm trying to take for quote unquote God, right? One, you told me to give a probabilistic account, even though I already asked you to give an argument for God. You're just talking. You're just fucking talking without actually no substance. The only substance you have is the fucking sperm in your dick, fucking retard. You fucking masturbate whenever I speak, retard, okay? So, if you don't give an argument for God, at this point, you're just fucking rambling because you're schizo as fuck, retard. You're saying I'm going on a schizo ramble when you can't even give a fucking argument. You're sped. Like, you're completely sped. Why are you trying to call me low tier and you're laughing by yourself? Nigga, the only one fucking laughing with you is your split personalities, dumbass retard. Give the argument, or we can end the recording here and see how fucking ass you are, okay? Retard. You're getting blitzed in a conversation where you're just being retarded. Oh yeah, because you keep perm abusing me. Well, no, retard. I'm serving you because you're asking me to go ahead and do this, right? Your point is just so dumb, okay? You are literally retarded, the most retarded person I've ever met. Your genetic code has to be more beyond than Indian. It's a different type of retard, bro. You're literally a different breed of retarded fuck. Like, I'm crying, bro. Like, come on. Just give an argument for God. Or at this point, just leave the fucking VC in embarrassment because you're a fucking embarrassment to your mother. Holy shit, bro. Like, come on, man. It's not that hard. Go ahead, speak. Give your argument for God. Or it wraps, okay? You're just gonna be dodging the bird.
Oh my god! Notice how he has to serve me to try to seem
Bro,
rhetorical.
are you
Also, this
gonna
is a
speak
Muslim.
like
This is a
an
Muslim doing
argument for God?
Ramadan,
Are
by
you
the way.
gonna
No,
no,
wait, wait,
it's
wait,
not.
wait, wait. This is a
Okay?
Muslim doing
No, 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 no,
Ramadan,
no,
by
no,
the
no,
way.
no, 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 no. It's not.
Oh my
I want
god.
you to give an argument for God right now.
Okay.
Give
Well,
an argument
he
for
really
God.
still
I'm gonna
hasn't
record
tracked
this.
anything. Right? He didn't track the concession that I talked about because obviously we're talking about once again the necessary being. If you're agreeing that being is possible, then if this necessary being is possible, then you're saying that this being is necessarily going.
Okay. One, he's saying I'm not attacking the concession. Okay. Well, let's get straight to your point. Hold on. You can go if you